What's up, buddy? How you doing? You excited for Superman? I don't know how to feel. I don't know. I feel like I start a lot of these videos not knowing. You know what? Maybe I should just admit that all of these videos, I don't know how to feel about anything. Today I was playing around with that Google AI, you know, where you can just generate whatever movie you want. I made a movie of a sci-fi lady preparing sushi made out of glass, and then a squid monster, you know, grabs it. What you can like I don't know. Now that we can make anything with AI, what happens? We're gonna make Superman movies still? Like, I can literally make crazy shit from the inside of my mind, and we're going back to a guy who, let's be clear, this character's been around since the 40s. It has always been weird to me that the Superman character has endured. And I get weirded out how many people go like, well, you know, we need a classic Superman, we need a heroic Superman. And I go, what role does this character play in our modern society, really? I look at the things that are going on around me and I go, you know, this is a children's character. It's a guy in a cape, flies around and fights bad guys. Now I'm getting a little too philosophical. The fuck's a bad guy? It's a bald guy who wants to make too much money. Pretty sure those are our heroes in the modern age. I'm getting way too philosophical. Look, we got a new Superman trailer. And let's just watch it. Let's see how Superman fits into our modern lifestyle. Because I still don't know what you do with this. What, like, who is this just for children? And what child? Again, when I look at children, which it's a bad phrasing, but when I think of children, still bad phrasing. They're playing Fortnite. Okay, they're what are they doing? They're watching Coco Melon. What are the kids into these days? Is there any kid who's into superheroes at all? Like, I guess they see the Marvel movies when their parents leave the room and, you know, force them to watch the Disney Plus subscription. But have you ever met a kid who's like, oh man, I really like Superman? It just feels like it's completely. Who does this connect with? Let's find out. All right, it's 9/11. Superman.
हमारी पृथ्वी का सबसे ताकतवर जीव।
Yeah, okay.
आज मिल ही गए। और
I'm just fucking with you guys. That's the Indian version. Let's watch it in English.
The most powerful being on planet Earth.
I wanted to see how long that would stay funny for.
We finally meet.
This is loud.
Now, as planned.
All right. So is the bad guy Andrew Tate? It's just a bald guy. See, this is what I'm trying to get at. Is like, if somebody told me, hey, you got to write a Superman movie. There's a couple different ways to tackle it. One is like Zack Snyder, which is you tackle it like an idiot. Where you go, it's going to be like real. Except I don't think Zack Snyder's ever lived in the real universe or thought about the real world at all. So his version of real is just insane. And Batman's rescuing sex-trafficked Vietnamese women from a basement. I don't remember, that was fucking uncomfortable. Or you can go the other way with it and you go, it's a big, stupid, goofy cartoon. You know, which I guess is what James Gunn's doing. You know, you got Green Lantern with the bowl cut. You got Crypto, the super dog. I think that's it's a lot more honest to go look at how goofy and stupid. And I mean, it's supposed to be comical. Let's be clear. Superman early on, if you look at the early Superman comics, we always talk about this. Half of them are him fighting a giant gorilla or, you know, Lois Lane turning black. They did one issue. Like, goofy, fun. It was a funny comic. It was supposed to be funny. It's only now that, like, we decided superhero stuff should be, like, serious commentary on the war on terror or whatever else. And then I guess, I don't know, it also kind of feels like James Gunn's going for this middle ground, though, where it's like, it's not just robots and super dogs, it's also like, it's got heart, man. You know, you really got to care about this shit. I don't know how you make a Superman movie. Let's find out. Like I'm saying, like, is this Elon Musk? Like, are you gonna have any kind of, like, actual social commentary on anything that's going on, or is it just like a cartoon?
I'll destroy you. And of course, that reporter you always do interviews with.
See, already I'm like looking at this and I go, he's still a newspaper reporter? Like, what universe are we living in where anybody's reading a fucking newspaper? Like, this is, again, it's like a 1940s cartoon of, the Daily Planet. Like, in the real world, this thing would have been gutted and turned into a fucking BuzzFeed blog, and even that would be going out of business. The idea of Lois Lane being a newspaper reporter is, like, quaint and antiquated.
That reporter you always do interviews with.
Reporters. Remember them?
Raised you as a child. I'll kill them too.
I would have, you know what? See, if I was going to write this, I would go so cynical with it. I know that sounds, like, stupid, but I would have, like, Pa Kent have, like, 20 Mexican laborers working on the farm who he doesn't pay a living wage to. Like, because that's funny to me. I don't know. Is that he goes, Clark, you're very important to me. And Clark's like, yeah, hey, Dad, I think we should pay these guys more than $4.25 an hour. And he goes, I can't afford it. And then ICE shows up and deports them all. Fuck it. I know it's on the nose, but, like, none of this. I've seen all this. Haven't I seen all this?
Kill them too.
Evil bald guy, loving farm boy. What is new here? What am I getting here? And look, I've read All-Star Superman. I get the Superman as a god, and well, this is not that though. This is honestly, the All-Star Superman is the closest it ever came. If you guys have ever read All-Star Superman, there's a bad animated version of it. That was the closest it ever came to making Superman relevant in, like, the modern age. Is to just go, it's a boy god, he's like a young god discovering his godhood on Earth. What it means to have infinite power, but to accept the limitations of that. That's the only thing I've ever seen that works with Superman. This, I don't know. He's got to fight a dragon.
No matter what you do to me, Luthor, your plans won't work.
Wrap it up.
Good luck with that.
I hear a lot of people complaining about this scene. Part of why I wanted to watch this trailer is, and I know I'm complaining. Okay, but my complaints are not going to be, if anything, this is the one thing I like. I hear people and they go, well, Superman's just punching regular guys, and why would his teeth bounce off the can? Shut up. This is actually cool. This is like, this is interesting. It's different. Okay? Bam. He's beating up Luthor troops. He's flying around. It's a little bit
Make a move.
creative. Like, I want to see something new. And this is what I like about James Gunn, is that James Gunn is willing to get a little bit weird, a little bit sci-fi. Obviously, he did the Guardians of the Galaxy shit, but you can see Superman floating in space, fucking space goo or whatever. You got Mr. Terrific with a bunch of weirdo drones. Okay? I'm hoping he gets really fucking weird with it. Because at this point, that's the only thing that could save Superman for me. I'm so tired of just like, well, he's really powerful and he flies around. Honestly, you should fight a giant fucking gorilla. Like you did in the 40s and the 50s. Do that! The whole movie should be Superman fights a giant gorilla. If you came to me and you said, you got to see the new Superman movie, and I said, what happens? There's a giant fucking monkey. And it's just kicking the shit out of fucking Metropolis. And Lex Luthor gave it a laser arm. And you're like, oh, is there like a big overarching plot? He's like, no. It's just him fighting this fucking monkey. And also, and the monkey shoots a laser that turns Jimmy Olsen gay, and that's the B plot. I think you just gotta be fucking goofy with it. This is, like, get goofy. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I have to show you this. There was a thing, for those of you who don't know the DC Comics lore, at one point they put a giant monkey on the cover of a Superman comic, and it sold more than any other Superman comic. And rather than, like, consider why that might be, or, like, maybe it was a fluke or whatever, somebody at DC just said, put giant monkeys on the cover of the fucking Superman comic, because every time we do it, for some reason, we sell more issues. So there's a shit ton of Superman comics where all he does... Look, Superboy, there's like 1 million Superman covers that just have a giant monkey on the front. And the only reason is, again, because one issue of Superman had a giant monkey on the cover. It sold double the copies anyone else did. And this was back before you could do market research. You couldn't send an email to people and be like, hey, why did you buy this Superman? So you just kind of had to guess. And you said, I guess people just love fucking giant monkeys. And maybe they did. Maybe that is why it sold. But they really were like, anytime the sales dipped on Superman, they're like, put a fucking monkey on the cover. And this is the kind of shit. Look, and this is what should be, this is what I would make a movie. Titano put on glasses like Lois Lane. If he imitates me, that Super Ape will put on the giant lead glasses. Only lead can stop his kryptonite vision from killing Superman. So it's a whole movie where Lois Lane has to trick a giant monkey into putting on giant sunglasses because his radioactive eyeballs are killing Superman. Why is that? Put that in the movie. That's what I'm saying. Bam.
They chose him. Let them die.
So this is where I think, this is where I'm going. I feel like you got to pick one lane. It's like part of it's goofy, but then part of it's Superman saving brown children in the desert, which is a little much. You know? Is the movie just like camp? It's straddling the line, obviously. It's like half campy, and there's robots, and there's nonsense, and there's super dogs. But then there's half like, but no, he saves the brown people. And I've never been able to make that mesh. It always feels like a messy compromise. Like if I made this movie, I don't know. Well, I guess you can't have all these people die, but I would not. Yeah, I wouldn't have Superman save them. I'd have them all get fucking killed, and then he goes back to fighting the monkey. He should only fight the monkey. This is good.
I'm doing important stuff.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific's good. See, I saw a bunch of crybabies. They're going, oh my god, those are just Luthor troops. He's hurting regular people. Good. Have him murder a bunch of people, fight a giant monkey, and then Mr. Terrific can show up and be his black friend and go, Superman, what the hell are you doing, Superman? I'm trying to stop Lex Luthor. God. Superman, you out of control, man. Goddamn. Look at what you doing on them lasers. Goddamn.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
See it in fucking IMAX. All right, look. What can I say here? Am I excited for this? No. I mean, from what I understand, and I read an interview with James Gunn. Let me see if I can even find that. Let's see. James Gunn budget. James Gunn is basically saying, you know, because there's a lot of people going like, oh my god, this needs to make $1 million bajillion dollars. And he's going, bro, it's the start of a new fucking cinematic universe. It doesn't have to make $1 billion. Apparently, they're saying $363 million budget. That's insane, if true. Gunn is saying it's $130 million cheaper than what a government filing is stated, but I mean, if Warner Brothers and DC are telling the press the film's budget is $225 million, it's still too much. But data from the Ohio Motion Tax Credit website says it might have cost $363 million. THR has spoken to a longtime financier. See, Gunn tried to say, I don't know, maybe it's fake, maybe it's a weird form. But a longtime financier claims the $363 million figure is far more accurate. Well, that's bad, guys, because look, Gunn's right now, I had a quote earlier, I can't find it, but he basically said, guys, it's the start of a new cinematic universe. It's just leading people in. It doesn't have to make a ton of money. We just got to make our money back, get people excited for superhero movies again. It's not a big deal. $363 million budget means, nope, that's not true. You need to make that $1 billion, because otherwise, let's be clear, $363 million you spent on making the movie. I don't think that includes marketing costs, which are another $100 million, $150 million. Doesn't include the fact that the theater, let's say, okay, you make $600 million, theater takes half that. Okay, you need to make $1 billion. Theater takes half. They get $500 million. You get $500 million to hopefully break even. $363 million is an insane fucking number. $230 million is still an insane number. I don't think these movies need to cost this much. So I don't know if this movie's gonna make its money back. I will say this is that it just has to be okay. A lot of people are saying like this has to be the best movie ever. I'm kind of more with James Gunn where he's going, guys, It's the first one out. We're trying out some shit. We're trying out some characters. The problem is you can't say that if you spent $363 million, though. Why did he spend $363 million? Couldn't you have come up with a small Superman movie that isn't a giant fucking sweeping epic? Again, how about Superman fights the giant ape? If you made a tight 1 hour, what do you call it, 2 hour movie, I guess it's got to be 2 hours now. What if you just made one tight Superman adventure with like minimal characters, minimal locations? It's just Superman goes to work, Daily Planet's getting turned into a blog because there's no way it's a newspaper anymore. It looks out the window, there's a giant monkey. If you told me there was a movie and it's just an hour and a half, 2 hours of Superman fighting a giant monkey and that's it, my butt's in the seat. I'm there. What's the plot? Who fucking cares? He's fighting a monkey. Maybe there's more monkeys. Maybe the monkey has a robot suit. Maybe Lex Luthor, helps the monkey. Whatever. I don't understand why we got to make these sweeping. Can we just make one dumb superhero movie where the plot is just look at this big fucking monkey that has. And again, you know what it should be? This should be the ending. He should be destroying Superman with radioactive blasts, and Lois Lane shows up with a giant pair of lead sunglasses designed by Batman. Can you imagine at the end of the movie, Batman is like coming in, like the climax. Superman looks like he's about to die. Superman comes in the Batplane. He goes, "Hey, Superman, try these on for size." And he drops these giant lead sunglasses out of the Batplane. And Superman, with the last of his strength, flies up and he puts the sunglasses on Titano, the giant ape, to stop him from killing him. I think you guys think I'm joking. I would much rather watch that movie. Like, I would be so excited for that movie. I would be clapping, I would be cheering, I would be screaming. I would go, "Fuck that monkey up, Superman!" But instead, like every fucking movie, I gotta watch him learn a lesson and talk to his dad and all this emotional shit with Lois Lane and the weight of being a hero. And I gotta save a white kid. I gotta save some brown kids. Just fight a fucking monkey. Make a Batman movie. Make a Batman movie which is just him fucking shooting vampires. You ever see this classic Batman frame? Batman shoots Dracula. This is what I want. All right. Well, they did make a Batman vs. Dracula animated. This is my Batman. This is my Batman. Batman finds Dracula sleeping in a coffin, just shows up and shoots him in the face. I guess what I'm asking for is, like, can we have an alternate DC universe? Can we have the DC universe, which is like big, stupid epics? And then can we have the alternate DC universe, which is like TV budget level movies of just retarded, stupid Superman shit that is just goofy and fun? I would enjoy that. I would enjoy that. Guys, go on over to whatnot.com/user/veto. That's not how you spell it. And I am going to be selling my delicious Final Fantasy Magic cards. I have a ton of them. We're getting them set up right now. So come on by, buy my Magic cards, buy my Pokemon cards. Get yourself $15 just for signing up at whatnot.com/invite/veto. And let me know what you think. I don't know, man. I think I'm just at the point where I've learned the idea of a superhero movie teaching me a lesson about the human spirit. I don't want it anymore. I just want a guy to shoot lasers and fucking fight monkeys. I'm a simple man.